The good news is at the core of every business is helping people. That story, that what you've been through is going to inspire a lot of people. Do that every day for the next 4 years. Dude, I never got invited to any parties in high school.
Hey, Evan.
Hey, how you doing, man?
We're getting along.
Getting along? What's going on?
Oh, COVID and everything. My mother passed away from COVID.
Oh, that sucks, man. How long ago?
June 18, I think it was.
Sorry, man. That really sucks. So what are you doing with that? Or how are you turning that into something, or what do you got? How can I help?
You know what? Okay. My questions, I have two. I hope we can get to them. The first one is like how to get out of the long-term, like, no action cycle, like, I don't know. I want to start a YouTube channel and do things like years back.
So you want to start a YouTube channel. Okay. What are you going to talk about? What's on the YouTube channel?
So I'm going to give you a little context. Starting middle school, I started like isolating myself and stuff. So by, I don't know, mid 7th grade, I kind of like lost all my friends. I became a TA, a teacher's assistant, and then helped out in my office, my school. So basically that was my thing. That was my hobby. Like that's what kept me from being at home, just doing nothing. But then I graduated middle school and it was like something was taken away from me,
What did you like about being the teacher's assistant?
Well, being able to help basically, but what I liked most was being able to like solve their problem, basically. Like, I don't know, like maybe they couldn't do the copies, so I had to do the copies,
You liked helping?
Yeah.
Did you actually like the material you were helping with, though, or did you just like that you were helping?
I did like the stuff I was doing because I learned a lot. Because I started as a TA for a teacher's assistant and actually became a school-wide assistant, so I knew all the teachers and all the stuff. So I was basically like a staff, but student. And I did all the tasks. I did crosswalk. I did, the security. I did the janitor. I did, so that was kind of my hobby, trying out different stuff within the school. So I just I think I like more the helping, but I did like to learn about what they do.
So what do you love learning the most?
Things about business and like you do, like the personal development stuff and psychology stuff.
The good news is at the core of every business is helping people. So you like helping people. That's great.
Yeah.
Now you just got to find the thing. At the end of the day, you're gonna win by bringing value. So what I'd be curious about is how can you coach people who are younger than you and help them the same way that you helped them as a TA that brought a lot of joy and value to your life. You're not, listen, I'm an introvert, so I hear you. And I also don't have a big need for friends. So I have my wife and that's all I need on a day-to-day basis, but I still want to help and still want to serve. And that's why I do this, right? Go live, because it brings me a lot of joy.
I didn't have a father growing up. My mom did have a partner. He's still here, but he's more like just, the material stuff, he wasn't there emotionally.
So who are you living with now?
I'm living in an apartment where it's under his name and we're under it. So it's government assistance.
Got it.
Apartment.
Dude, it's great. I mean, that story, that what you've been through is going to inspire a lot of people. For everybody who goes through like a rough upbringing themselves and didn't have a father and lose their mother and government assistance, all that, right? Like they don't want to listen to me because I haven't been through that, but they'll listen to you because of what you've gone through and are still going through, right? Like you haven't fully come out of it, but you're better off. You're ahead. Like you can go back and talk to your 12-year-old self and give that guy a lot of advice.
I did like last time I did, there's this walkie-talkie app, and it's like kind of you just push a button and you talk to people.
Like random
And I
people?
did, yeah, that's
Okay.
random people.
Okay.
So I did that, and there's a lot of kids in there.
Yeah.
So I went out and just just started listening to what they were talking about, and I basically started like giving them like the things that I would have changed, like the things I would have done otherwise differently.
Yeah.
And it felt very nice because some were going through some stuff too, to help out as well. So I do want to go that route. Maybe it's just getting more action into it, right?
I think for you, being able to be in front of somebody is going to feel way better than just making a YouTube video talking to the camera by yourself. I think part of the problem to your like initial question of like, how do I put myself out there and do the content? I think part of it is you don't want to do it as much as an introvert you don't want to do it all by yourself. You want to feel like it's helping, and you want to have somebody in front of you. I think you'll just excel when you've got somebody in front of you that they're struggling with something and you can see yourself helping them.
I think I do. When I entered 8th grade, my other mates started they came to me sometimes for like advice on things that they were going through and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I positioned myself when I was in middle school as a serious person, but as well as the one you can come to.
Tell me in one sentence your message to the 12-year-old you.
I would tell myself just to be authentic, to authentic in the way of just doing things, trying things out.
But do you think 12-year-old you understands that? Like, go be authentic?
No.
Okay, so what do you say?
No.
Like, say it so that 12-year-old you understands.
If you want to be the captain of the soccer team, go all in, try it out. If it works, it works. And if it doesn't, you learn from it. Maybe what's another way I could say it? So basically you're saying simplify it because younger people are more rapid. Well, I'm young, but younger than me are more rapid. They go away if they don't understand
well,
it.
listen, you're already talking like a 40-year-old, limiting beliefs and be authentic and all this stuff. But to make that message hit, not even, yes, younger people, but even older people, dude. You hang out, most of your 16-year-old friends aren't talking about authenticity and limiting beliefs and all this stuff. So why I said go back and talk to you at 12 is because you were like that. Before you started learning and getting on the business/personal development train, you didn't understand any of this stuff either. So it's trying to simplify the message. 10-year-old you, 11-year-old you, 12-year-old you, whatever fits.
I think I did also start to trying to be in moving houses and all these things. So I got also into a mindset of wanting to be an adult too fast. So if you ask me, I've never been to a party with friends. I've the general parties that they invite you to and stuff.
Dude, I never got invited to any parties in high school.
So me, I did.
So you're already ahead of me. I got invited to nothing in high school. When you're using the walkie-talkie app and you're talking to these kids, what's the number one message that you give them?
Be yourself, that authenticity. I try to simplify it within the conversation. I try to listen to them, what the words they say. And I try to simplify it, saying, if I tell them I'm trying to be authentic, they're not understand. So like you said, so I try to tell them, basically this other kid was talking about their father being in jail, and that his brother didn't, he was very rude. His brother was very rude to his mother. And I asked him, what about you?
Yeah.
How are you with your mother and with your father? How were you? And he was talking about like he loves his mother and um, that he loves his mother, his family, and that basically he has having a hard time with his brothers. So I told him to try to listen more to what his brother was trying to like the word his brother was using, and maybe try to understand the words more before like thinking before he spoke.
We need a motto for you.
Honestly, I don't have like one quick one right now, maybe, but I do want to revolve it around more around making people understand about authenticity in a simpler way, and try to implement it more within myself. So I
So in
think
your view, why are people not authentic?
judgment. Um, we make things up on our heads. We think, oh, they're gonna think about this, but in reality, sometimes when we go out there and say something or do something, people think it's great. So it's within our minds. It's judgment, um, and judgment from others, like opinion from others, and the things we make up on our minds.
So let me tell you what's going through my head. Okay. Um, I'm trying to pull the pieces together to make it like be 100% fit, but we're almost there. I have two ideas for you. I think one, definitely helping kids and people younger than you ongoing is going to make you feel amazing. You need to keep doing it. Whether that's Walkie Talkie app, whether that's Omegle, whether that's something else, um, it'll make you feel great. Even if all you do is listen, even if you don't even know what to tell them to do, you'll be a great listener. And I'm sure people will end up telling you things that they've never told anybody else in their life. And that's a huge release because when stuff happens, a lot of times parents don't even know how to talk to their kids. Like if you're moving around a lot, or think of all the stuff that you've been through, maybe your parents didn't communicate super well to you about what was going on and you kind of felt isolated and alone. A lot of parents don't know how to communicate with their kids. So you could be the person that people communicate with and just feel like they can unload, feel like there's actually somebody who's going to listen and not judge them.
I do get what you're saying because, back then in middle school, people used to tell me a lot of what you're saying, things that they didn't tell their parents before.
Yeah.
And it felt really good to feel that you could be trusted, like someone trusted you, then that you could help others, maybe go through the harsh time, So
and
I felt really good.
You'll see it in their eyes. I mean, you'll see, and you'll feel great. And so you have to keep doing that. One, like for where you are right now, that's going to heal your soul. Like that's going to make you feel like a worthwhile human being and give you purpose. Thinking longer term, you're developing an incredible skill set that when you are 20, 22, 24, 28, you're going to be so great at this thing that you can build an amazing business on top of it because you put in the years of work of learning how to listen to people, empathize with them, understand them, and help them. So it's putting in the work now to do the listening so that when you are older, you can have a real business on top of it. Right now, it's hard to have a business out of that, right? Because you can't make content of 10-year-olds and put it on YouTube, right? Like it's not going to work. So, but that as step one, I would put in your calendar every single day that you have to spend some time on the Walkie Talkie app or Omegle. You could go to Omegle and put in depression as a category, and that's who you're going to get matched with. And you just listen and try to help.
So, and basically you say like double down on the learning process and start learning more, listening, and understanding. And basically when I'm older, that's when I'm going to be able to apply it.
Well, you can already
based
start to
on
apply it, right? Like if somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, and you don't know how to answer it, even just you listening and being empathetic is already a ton of value. But it's what it's going to do is force you to then go and try to research that.
more about it.
You're going to go research it. You're going to go learn it. It's going to be a part of like, I need to go find a solution to this so that if it happens again, you know how to answer it. That's just in you, which is great. So every new scenario you get, you're going to start getting that vibe that you're going to go research and then you get better. You're learning every time. So then when new people come to you, you're not as worried, and you're better able to help them, right?
Maybe
So
to compose my words as well.
yeah. So imagine, if you did this for the next 4 years, every day for 20, 30, 50 minutes, how great you'll get at it, and how many scenarios you'll see, just kind of repeating over and over and over again in people. And
then I'm going to take something from that and make a structure within that.
Yeah, that when you're 20, that could be a coaching business. That can be a book series. That could be you speaking on stages. That could be anything. When you're 30, you'll be taking over the world. That is basic. Like that's step one. And the way to do it is every single day. I wouldn't worry about YouTube videos yet. Every single day, you're on the app talking to people.
So I did want to start like a little podcast. I do have people who want to get on it. So maybe like, would that be, do you think that would be just like to make content about it and learn more about what they're going through, stuff like that? Or is it just?
I want you like listening and coaching. I want you to get better at coaching. Like me, you like, this is what you would have the most fulfillment in, is not just talking about a topic, but actually helping somebody.
Okay.
So
listening to them, learning more about what their issues.
Yeah.
Once the patterns keep coming up, I will then eventually start putting a structure for me to be able to help them.
And the more you get, the better you'll get. And it's going to lead to a lot of opportunities. As long as you don't stop doing it, it's going to lead to some incredible opportunities down the line for you. So step one is every day on the chat app or Omegle or something, you're talking to at least one person every day. Do that every day for the next 4 years. I think there's really something that you can do to help adults now. And it's just a lot of adults have all the same issues of being afraid to share what they're going through, are super afraid to be authentic, super afraid to be judged. But I think what you need, I don't think they'll come to you necessarily for advice yet, right?
No, yeah, because they have more time. And yeah.
But like that's why you need the catchphrase, just to allow people to release what's on their mind. Like maybe you think about what happened to you, maybe of moving around a whole bunch and your father leaving. Maybe it's somebody who's like your father who then feels terrible that he abandoned his son.
And maybe like trying to make them understand what their child is going through. That's what you're saying?
No. Like not coaching or trying to help.
No, but like what I went through.
Just letting people release. Like if your catchphrase was, for example, it'll be okay. No, it's something like that. I like it'll be okay. But like your version of it, if it was it'll be okay, then you become the guy that people message, DM, send emails to, where they unload. They say, here's what I went through. Like I abandoned my son when I was 3 years old and I feel like I'm the greatest failure as a father of all time. And you just write back, it'll be okay.
Wow, I hadn't thought about that. Man, you're amazing.
That's what, dude, but I've never told anybody this. Like, this is a custom strategy for you, right? That it's not about giving them advice. It's not about trying to help them see the perspective of their kids or something. It's not even about, hey, here's what you can learn from a 16-year-old on this. It's just about giving them a space to share and not feel judged, because adults feel judged too. And you're the guy who just tells them it'll be okay. Or something like that, right? but that's why we need to get it down, because if the message is be authentic, it's too much of a, you have to think about it too much. Head. You have to think about it too much. It's not hitting them emotionally. So that's the homework I would have for you, is try to think about getting it down to a catchphrase that you become known as the "it'll be okay" guy. And then people can message you and tell you their deepest problems, and you just tell them it'll be okay. And it sounds like crazy, but for a lot of people, that's it. They've never told anybody that in their entire life, and they need the release, and they just need somebody to tell them it'll be okay. Like, that could be content, that could be anonymous content, where if people are sharing a message and you like delete their name, and that could be your entire Instagram, where people just send you their life problems and you delete the name and you say it'll be okay. You can even pull some from other people's YouTube, like, to get started. You go to other people's Instagram and other people's YouTube comments, and you see people who are telling their life story, delete the name, post it to your Instagram, and every time all you do is write, it'll be okay.
Alrighty.
You become known as that guy. Like, that becomes a potential business now, because you can't, if it was anything else, it'd be great, but you can't have 10-year-olds on your YouTube channel.
I get it.
You're just going to get taken down right away. Having somebody who you're mentoring and helping and listening to is great. Like this, what are we doing here? This is content, right? This is me helping you. You could flip it and do the same thing for other people. The problem is you can't use the content if it's an 11-year-old.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I get it. I get it now, because, it's an 11.
So you're just learning, right? Like, under 13 is going to cause issues.
With all the policies and everything.
It's just ridiculous. So you can't. But that's who you can really help. So that's why you need to, for the next 4 years, just go every day helping and learning, and that's improving your own skill set, but not really building a business, just feeling purposeful, and also developing the skill set that when you're older will be a huge business for you. But what could be a business now is just listening to adults and telling them it'll be okay. And like, that could be a book, right? I mean, that could be lots of things, helping people just unload and let them know it'll be okay.
If you want to see another awesome one-on-one I did with an entrepreneur just like you, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.